right there, could have been had. But the defense in the first half was a killer. So I looked at numbers, and I don't understand this unless it's just that the Tigers become more desperate and aggressive in the second half. So if you take a look at what they do first half versus second half, on the year, the Tigers have now given up 210 points, or 211, excuse me. In the first half, they give up 161 points. In the second half, they give up 51. That was the story in this game. They gave up 35 in the first half. The hole was dug too deep. You couldn't get out of it, especially when your quarterback gets hurt. Although, I will tell you, I have faith in both Arrington Maiden and A.J. Hill. I think they're both really good, decent quarterbacks that with given time and experience, reps, I think they become excellent. I think Ryan Silverfield and Tim Cramsey have a real dilemma for next year, provided both those guys are willing to stay. But 35-3, 160 and 51. It seems, in my estimation, because I ask Jordan Hankins all the time, what adjustments did you make? And he goes, well, I really didn't make that many adjustments. We blitzed more, or we became more aggressive in scheme. It seems to me the Tigers need to be that way right from the beginning, because they gave Jake Retzloff so much time in the first half that he didn't have in the second. If you can smoke a cigarette back there, you're going to find somebody. And that's exactly what happened in this game. I know a lot of folks are going to say, well, the offense just didn't produce enough. Keep pace. If you look at the numbers that the Tiger offense put up, it was definitely satisfactory. 32 points, okay. I think you averaged a little bit more than that, but still, 32 points is 32 points. How about 368 yards? You actually outgained Tulane. Actually, I'm going to take that back. 435, 457. You didn't outgain them. You outthrew them. That was passing yardage. They outgained you. And by the way, they're now 32-3 when they outgained their opponents in the last 35 times that's occurred. That's pretty impressive. Their ground game is critical to their success. But nonetheless, you got 435 yards, 32 points. And you're one catch away from what I think would have been winning the football game. That is tough. That's just tough to take. And it all goes back to 35 points in the first half. You're down 38-17 in this game going into the fourth quarter. And yet you almost pulled it out. So you're actually an underdog, by the way, at East Carolina, 2.5 points. That, I guess, is not surprising because East Carolina has a chance to be in the championship game. I think it's going to end up being maybe to USF, probably against North Texas, the way it seems to me to be going. We'll see. There's a lot of possibilities, but the longest of the shots, unfortunately, are our Tigers, because I don't even know what has to happen. You don't have any tiebreak on Tulane now. You do on USF. You don't play North Texas. You got a shot with East Carolina. But so many crazy things would happen, and North Texas' schedule is so soft, and you don't have anything with them. Tough. Really, really tough. I do want to give a lot of credit to Brendan Lewis. What a gutty guy. Because Brendan Lewis has a bad ankle. It's been bad since Birmingham. The dude is playing 80%. He can't cut, which is probably why he got sacked so many times. He can't move like he used to. Sometimes if he gets a full burst going, because, those first 3 steps are hard, and then he gets going, he's still got a little bit of it, and he had a couple of runs that were decent, but it wasn't the guy that we saw earlier in the year. I'll tell you, Arrington Maiden can run the ball. Oh, my goodness. He's faster than Brendan Lewis, and he's every bit as big and tough. But I give Lewis all the credit in the world. 368 passing yards on, well, he didn't get all 368 because Arrington Maiden got some. But let me see his total numbers if you look at it.
51 yards.
He's 29 of 34. He had one bad pick, but he's 29 of 34. 317 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, I cannot fault Cortez Bryant. Look at his numbers. He had 11 catches, 113 yards. Hawkins had 98 yards. It's too bad you could have 2 100-yard receivers in there. And then 83 for Brady Cluse, who just continues to make unbelievable possession-type receptions. But I got to tell you, Landon, you look at this. Bram didn't get the one catch at the end. It was a tough catch to make, and he's not used to catching the ball from Maiden. I know they practice, but he's used to the Lewis ball. And I just think he looked the wrong way to begin with and then had to correct it and couldn't get his body around to really extend. It was a catchable ball. It was a good pass by Arrington Maiden. It just did not work out. I'll tell you, there was another play in there where the Tigers could have scored and maybe the game would have been different. Greg Duosier is streaking down the left side, and it was a really cool play designed by Tim Cramsey where everybody goes right, all the coverage goes right, and sneaking out of the backfield is Duosier on the left side. He would have had to beat one guy, and I think he would have had the speed or the move or even the angle to do it because he had the speed going. And Lewis missed him down the sideline just barely 2 inches too far. It's like Bram, 2 inches too far. Game of inches and too big of a hole to pull yourself out of. So, here you go. There's going to be folks that go, oh, yeah, the culture's good and you win 9-10 games, but you can't get to the championship. And there's this disconnect that Ryan's always had in the community. I'm not sure why he hasn't become beloved. As good a guy as he is, as good a coach as he is, he's got 50 wins, and we're not done with this 6th year. It's tough, but maybe this loss means he is going to stay. The rumors are out there that he's going to Arkansas. He was pretty vehement in saying that is propaganda put out by opposition teams. And I will tell you, the rumor that I hear about Arkansas is they are trying to put their money people together to make a big-time offer to James Franklin. So I don't think Ryan, who knows? I could be wrong. I don't think he's going to Arkansas. I hope he's staying here. I don't think you're going to see John Summerall here at Tulane next year. I think when they shook hands at midfield, it's the last time that Ryan's going to shake his hand as the coach at Tulane. I don't know if Alex Golish is going to be at South Florida last year. I think those two guys, when you look at the P4 job openings, they're ahead on the lists of most of the prognosticators ahead of Ryan Silverfield. I hope Ryan stays another year. Now, if he got a P4 offer that was $30, $40 million, of course you got to take a look at that. He's got 2 young daughters now. He's got a family he's got to take care of. And those are the kind of money offers that set you up for life. But we'll wait and see. In the meantime, now you got to go to East Carolina. That's a winnable game. I think Navy didn't even play Blake Horvath against Notre Dame. Maybe they're saving him for the last 2 games. They got South Florida and Memphis and then Army. But I think that game is winnable. I think there's 9 or 10 in here. So it becomes a good year, but not a great year. Grizzlies, win 1, lose 1. Up and down. That's what I said to begin with. They took care of the Dallas Mavericks. And I got to tell you, for me, the story in that game, it really wasn't the Grizzlies, and Ja played good in that game, and Coward's becoming quite the story, a double-double last night. First half, He was just amazing. The story in that game, and this is why we love sports. I know sometimes it's heartbreaking, like the Tigers and Tulane. And I even asked Penny Hardaway if he could have believed this would occur. He said no. I never thought it could happen, but I'm so happy for the kid because I really do like him. Who could have believed Musa Cisse would play 14 minutes against the Grizz? He would annoy John Morant so badly that he flagrantly fouled him. And that Musa Cisse, in 14 minutes, would have 10 points and 8 rebounds in the NBA, let alone against the Grizz. Musa Cisse, who could not catch a ball in college. I'm just so happy for him. To me, that is an amazing story. Landon Schmidt, if I told you he would be in the NBA after what you saw last year,
I wouldn't have believed you.
No way. 10 and be effective.
Yeah, I wouldn't have believed you for 1 second.
It's astonishing. God, I love that story. I really do. So let's get to Tiger basketball. Now I'm hopeful. Honestly, truly, sincerely hopeful. Because after the 2 exhibition games, I was perplexed. I did not have any faith. I thought they didn't value the ball, which they still have to work on. They had 15 turnovers in that game. That was 1 less than they forced, so that's a good sign. But I didn't think they played together, except for the first 10 minutes of the Arkansas game. I didn't think, and there's still a problem here. If there's going to be an Achilles heel on this team, this is the worry that I have, and I'm sure it's a worry for Penny Hardaway. They don't have girth inside. They are going to get pushed around by big men. Now, fortunately, I don't think there's a whole lot of them in the American that can do that. But there were a couple for San Francisco, one in particular who came off the bench, a kid named Fuchs. And he just kept backing down on anybody who was in there. Your best big man, at least potentially scoring-wise, is Aaron Bradshaw. Now, in all these games that we have witnessed with Aaron Bradshaw, he has a problem with fouling. In the first 1 minute and 21 seconds against San Francisco, he got 2. He was out for the next 28 minutes. That's tough. They don't have girth, and the guy that they're really depending on, who I really believe that he understands, the knock on him is he's not physical enough, that he can't defend, and he can't rebound, that he's just a guy that's a three-point shooter or an outside wing, and he wants to prove at 7 feet tall with athleticism that he can be a player, that he can go and bang. That's what I think he's got to work on. That's what if he wants to play in the NBA, he's got to be better. And he's trying. I give him that. But he picks up fouls. Remember in the exhibition game against Arkansas? He had 4 fouls in the first 9 minutes of the second half to foul out of the game. So he wasn't even around when it counted. That's tough. And the bright spot inside? Simon Mijak. They list him at 200. He probably doesn't weigh much more than 180. He's 7 feet tall. He just stepped into this country a couple of weeks. I guess it's a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever it may be. And he has promise. He took that open 3, drained it. He was as active as he could be. He was blocking shots. He was rim protecting. But he's so light. They started backing him down, and he couldn't hold his ground. That's going to be the trouble spot for the U of M. Big guys, they go inside. There's not really anybody like Dane Danger or the kid from Temple that the Tigers had, the only returner from last year. Having one of those senior moments. I can't remember his name. They don't have anybody like that that's physical inside. So Scylla tries, but I'm not sure he's the guy. Anyway, That's the one concern that I have, but I found so much good. Julius Thedford, he came back home. He had 8 rebounds in the first half. He wanted the guards because Penny told me in the pregame show, we got a guard. We got a rebound by committee. We've got scorers. Bradshaw can be a scorer inside, but we don't have rebounders by committee. Well, the guards got half the rebounds, and Thedford got 9 of them all told. He was terrific. He's come back home from Western Kentucky. I mentioned Simon Majok may have found a home, and I love what I saw from McDaniels. He's the key guy. He played 37 minutes. Jury's out on Bradshaw. I'll tell you what, Sincere Parker, he's a scorer, especially against zones, and that's the thing the Tigers got to figure out. San Francisco went to a zone, got him back in the game. So now twice we've seen the Tigers struggling with their zone offense. They got to work on that, but that's very fixable. I don't understand why that game was a 2:00 game. The attendance was low. And it was an ESPN Plus game. So I don't understand why the decision was made to play that at 2. When your fans stayed for that football game, most of them did not get home till midnight. Now, there may be a real simple explanation in all of that, but you control the time because it's ESPN Plus. Why wouldn't you do that at least at 4, maybe even 6, unless there was an event at FedEx Forum that I'm not aware of? Nobody seemed to know. I thought that was a questionable game time. But in the end, I think, and we'll find out tomorrow, they go to Ole Miss. They haven't won. I don't think they've won in the Pavilion. I think they're 0-4 in the new building. So we'll see, because Ole Miss got a new team too. They're 2-0. They've destroyed a couple of lower-level teams. I'm sure the Tigers will be underdogs in this game. It will be fun to watch for sure. All right, some craziness in the NFL. Who would have thunk, and we're going to ask Jeff Moore about this in just a minute. Who would have thunk, because this story is absolutely amazing to me. Indianapolis, New England, Denver. You realize those 3 teams are the best records in the National Football League? I believe all 3 of those were under 500 last year.
I think the Broncos were the only team that were above.
They were above 500?
I think they were. I think they had because they made the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Wild card round.
Okay.
But they were early exits. I know that much.
Yeah, but that story, those, especially Indy and New England, wow. That's good stuff. And we're going to talk with Jeff Moore about that here in just a minute. We sit in the Family Leisure Studio, and again, I remind you, the hot tub and swim spa clearance sale is now in full swing. Hot tubs start at under $2,500. Now, the swim spas, they're big. They're very pricey, but really, this is a good price, believe it or not, at under $15,000. The best part for me, the in-stock patio furniture, that's up to 50% off. You get that when you walk in at I-40 and Wooden Road. Family Leisure. And this portion of the show brought to you by Sheldon Rosengarten. No matter where you're looking, could be downtown, could be Germantown, could be Collierville, could be Midtown. You could have a property that backs up to the highway, to I-240. That's happened before. He sold the house. He's unbelievable. Sheldon Rosengarten, MemphisRelocate.com. Are you kidding me? Doesn't matter where the house is. It sells. It's all a part of the strategic marketing program. So easy. So easy. P for pricing. P for preparation. The strategy is there. That incredible marketing strategy that has worked for so many people over the years. MemphisRelocate.com. That is the number. It's not the number. That is the website, which makes it easy to remember because it's all about relocation. MemphisRelocate.com or the number. Simple there, too. 483-0546. Sheldon gets the job done. You want to sell that house? It'll go if you call Sheldon. We take a break. When we come back, Jeff Moore in studio, the National Football League, front and center on Wolo and Friends.
My Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, friends. It's Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers. The seasons have changed, and fall is my favorite time of the year. Fall means that Christmas is right around the corner, and we all start preparing for that most wonderful time of the year. All families have their own traditions, and they bring so much joy. And a part of that joy comes in giving gifts to those we love. For over 5 decades, Russell Brothers Jewelers has been the source of many of the most beautiful gifts ladies in Memphis have ever seen. Gifts that are cherished and frequently handed down from one generation to the next. Gentlemen, as you think about a gift for your special lady this Christmas or any time, I hope you will think about Russell Brothers Jewelers. Beauty, value, quality, and service are our hallmarks at Russell Brothers. This Christmas, come see us at Russell Brothers. We will help make you the best St. Nick ever. Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Ross Tucker and I'll wrap up Week 10 from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, when Jordan Love and the Packers take on the champion Eagles. Jalen Hurts and Philadelphia are 6-2. Now they face the Packers, hoping to bounce back from last week's loss to Carolina. Join us for all the action on Monday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We're going to talk NFL topsy-turvy as always with Jeff Moore in just 1 second. He's brought to you by the commissary. Oh, my goodness, it's holiday time. You know what that means? Turkeys and hams. Always wonderful stuff at the commissary. You know, that bird, that famous bird, they got a whole turkey. You can feed, well, small one is 10 to 12 pounds. That feeds a whole bunch of people. It includes a quart of dressing and a pint of gravy That thing is only $79.95. You want the bigger one? Serves. The first one feeds 8 to 10. The second one about 14 to 16. Also, now it goes up to 2 quarts of dressing and gravy and a whole bunch more. And that one is at $109.95. But the turkeys are there. Also, the hams, that spiral ham that's famous, it's pretty big too. It's 8 to 10 pounds. And that one is just under $90. You can get sides of gravy and dressing and a quart of sweet potatoes casserole. That is the best. For $14, you can't beat it. You can order and get it now because those orders fill up. Either commissary, Germantown or Collierville, it's turkey and ham time at the commissary. Crazy weekend. It's always crazy, right? Explain to me, how does Buffalo play the great game against Kansas City and turn around and lose to Miami? Is that not just the way the NFL is?
It is, and particularly when you've got division opponents. Those teams play each other twice a year. Every year they know each other very well. They know their strengths and weaknesses. And then the other phenomenon with Buffalo is they just, unfortunately, just seem like they're so up and down. You know, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They look like they're world beaters, the best team in the AFC. Then they lay an egg. It's interesting to see how this team goes through those gyrations. And of course, you know, Miami was struggling, trying to find themselves. They're throwing the ball all over the yard. It's insane. But, you know, the Patriots have made a statement in that conference that they're the best, most disciplined, most physical team in the East, and you know they continue to win. Drake May has been amazing. They've got young guys on their team that hadn't played a lot of minutes that are looking impressive.
I did look this up. Denver was 8-9 in the regular season last year. New England, we know, fired their coach and brought in Mike Vrabel, and Drake May's become a great story there. And then there's Indy with Daniel Jones, and they were all 3 of the top teams from a year ago were under 500. Denver being the best one at 8-9.
Yeah.
And here they are at 8-2. They've already got as many wins Denver did as they did last year, and these guys are way over their total.
Yeah.
Wow. How does that happen?
So in these situations, a little bit different. Certainly for Indy, you know, Daniel Jones certainly has made a big difference, but I think the MVP of that club is Jonathan Taylor. He has been unbelievable. It's great to see him healthy and the things that he's doing. I think they've got a really good coach who understands the team and puts them in a good position to win. You don't see them making a lot of mistakes, beating themselves. The Patriots is coaching. You know, the players that are there now that were there a year ago, but the culture has changed. You watch the Patriots, especially when they play Buffalo, those guys play 4 quarters. They're aggressive to the ball. He's instilled in that team a toughness and a mindset and a standard that they're all playing to, and it's very impressive.
I think Indy may be the most amazing to me. Mm-hmm. Their owner dies. The daughter takes over. Yeah. They've got this washed-up quarterback that was a total bust in New York City. He comes in, Daniel Jones does.
Yeah.
I think that is an amazing story. I don't know about 2 teams that could really be good, and that's Pittsburgh and Kansas City. You talked about Buffalo being inconsistent. That's the story of the Chiefs this year. And Pittsburgh last night, Aaron Rodgers looked old.
Yeah,
Took a safety. Can't believe that.
Yeah.
He had 2 picks in that game.
Yeah.
Got a touchdown in garbage time. He himself said he was garbage last night, that he's got to play better. He's a stand-up guy in that way, that he took the blame. I know Mike Tomlin was a little bit ticked off when somebody asked him about the performance of Rodgers. But, you know, the guy laid an egg last night.
He did. And in some of those instances where he threw interceptions, he changed the play. He didn't go with the play that had been originally called. And you're going to have that, you know, with a I won't say an aging quarterback, but any quarterback, if a team has schemed you the right way and they're confusing, you know, you're going to make some mistakes. You don't see that in his case too often. But, you know, their defense, their defense been up and down. They had a great game last week, but they've been consistently inconsistent. And, they couldn't stop anybody last night. So, I mean, it's both sides of the ball with the Steelers, which makes them, a kind of a question mark still at this point in the season. Even though they're leading their division, you look at the Baltimore Ravens, and they're in the rearview mirror. They playing better every week. So, there's no guarantees that the Steelers are going to be standing tall in that division at the end of the season.
I'm not sure about Patrick Mahomes and their consistency. I guess we measure everything by postseason.
Yeah.
And I do still have confidence that they will be there. They can't seem to beat Buffalo in the regular season. They get them in the playoffs. But it does trouble me. I don't know if he's getting a little bit older. I know Kelsey's getting a little bit older.
Yeah.
But this team doesn't seem to be the behemoth they were 2 years ago.
Well, they've kind of been exposed. They're not the intimidating team that they used to be a year, 2 years ago, where they just had that championship pedigree that when they stepped on the field, you knew you had to play your best game to beat them. Teams now are seeing, especially after the Super Bowl, that they can be dominated if you do certain things the right way. Patrick Mahomes is going to be Superman, but if you can contain everybody else, you got a chance with the Chiefs, and their defense still continues to be inconsistent and give up a lot of plays in the back end.
So we pointed this out earlier. When we started the year, we were not talking about Indy, New England, and Denver, right? We weren't. And here they are, 8-2. We were talking about Buffalo and Kansas City. We were talking about Detroit. Detroit plays tonight. I'm sorry.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, Minnesota. Philadelphia plays tonight.
Right.
A great game. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But Detroit sputtered for a little bit here in the beginning.
Yeah.
In fact, Dan Campbell, their head coach, sort of demoted his first-year off OC, who replaced Ben Johnson, took over the play calling. They scored 44 last night. But they're a little bit weird. They're not the team that they were. Does this right their ship?
I hope so. I mean, I hope so. The challenge for them is we don't really know how good Green Bay is going to be. They've been inconsistent. J.J. McCarthy looks like he's starting to show some rookie something. He played horrible this past weekend.
Well, in the win against the Bears in the first game of the year, he played horrible until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then he played really good. I think the jury's really out on him.
Yeah.
44 points yesterday.
Yeah. He's just inconsistent.
Yeah.
And then the Bears, we don't know what to say about the Bears except they're going to play you hard. And their coach has really changed that culture. They're having a lot of fun. And Caleb Williams, we're getting to see this guy's a stud. I mean, he's the biggest thing I think that sets him apart in addition to his incredible arm strength is he's tough as nails. I mean, he can take physical punishment. Hopefully they don't give him too much like the Giants are doing with Dart. But he's a very good physical player. He's learning how to manipulate the pocket to get time. Man, I like what the Bears are doing. I really do.
Well, they're 6-3.
Yeah,
and I don't think any of us thought that would be the case.
Yeah.
Now they haven't really beaten a great team yet, but we'll see. This guy, and we mentioned this last week, the thing that most impresses me about him is he plays better in the pressure situation.
Yeah.
Bears were down 10. They came back to win the game.
Right.
He was a big part of the problem. Great passes. He had like 7 drops yesterday.
Yeah.
He was putting the ball right on the money.
Yeah.
And when he had to, he ran and he scored the winning touchdown.
Yeah. He's playing well, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. And, for a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, it's so important that head coach demonstrates that they believe in him and gives him a chance to grow and mature and get better. And that's what we're seeing with Caleb. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
I feel bad for the Giants and for Jackson Dart. They lost Scattaboo for the year with an ugly injury. And now yesterday, and I think this is the reason why Jackson Dart got injured, is he was fumbling the football. So he's so intent on getting that ball back, he doesn't necessarily protect himself. And that ball hit the turf. And I got to tell you, it's grass turf, but it's snowing.
Yeah.
So that grass turf is hard.
Yeah.
And that was a concussion that I don't think they knew right away, but they were smart enough to go, look, this guy doesn't look right.
Right.
And they took him out of the game. I don't know if he'll be ready. I think they play Green Bay this week.
He's running too much as a rookie quarterback, and somebody needs to get in his ear and let him know he needs to get down and slide more. He doesn't need to be trying to get physical, or when he scores, he doesn't need to clown too much as a quarterback too. So we'll see. He's a great talent. I just would like to see them protect him better.
Philadelphia at Green Bay tonight. It'll be cold up there for sure.
Yeah.
The Packers are a 1.5 favorite. We mentioned we haven't talked that much about Philly here.
Yeah.
Here they are, the defending champions, and it's not been a terrific year. They cannot seem to establish the run like they had a year ago. You mentioned the inconsistencies of Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. How do you see this game playing out?
Man, I think it's going to be a great game. I want to see the Eagles put two consistent running games together back to back. And Green Bay, we just don't know. I mean, they've been so up and down. They look so impressive against the Steelers. I like them at home, to answer your question. I think they can beat the Eagles at home. Micah Parsons going to be huge tonight. I think he's going to be a difference maker that's going to help them be able to get a W.
By the way, did you see it was revealed that when they were doing all the negotiations to move him, he had to agree that he would not ever, or at least for a few years, sign with the Philadelphia Eagles when he was still part of the Dallas Cowboys?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Well, I forget exactly what the term of that of the clause in that contract was. It was like the poison pill or something. You could not go to Philly.
That's crazy.
That was pretty amazing. All right, last thing.
Yes.
I know you're going to see your beloved Volunteers.
Yes.
They're 39.5 over New Mexico this coming week. I know you're going to enjoy that, but you had a great reunion with Stanley Morgan.
Yes.
Talk about it.
So Stanley and Rolita celebrated their 50-year wedding anniversary this past weekend, and a lot of my old teammates were down that I hadn't seen in a long time, and it was really emotional for me, Dave, because I was thinking about when I was 18, when I first went up to Knoxville, and how, those guys were a couple years ahead of me, but they embraced me, and so it was great. It was a great celebration, and then just looking forward to getting up there this weekend. Let my grandson kind of figure out that he has to be a Tennessee ball.
Oh, that he has to be a Tennessee
make him think he's got a choice.
I see. Well, have fun,
Yes.
and I look forward to hearing all about it next Monday.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
That is Jeff Moore. That's our guy on the NFL, and he's brought to you by Landers Cadillac of Memphis. You know the wait's over. The grand opening of the newly remodeled Landers Cadillac of Memphis is here, and you're getting savings because of it. You can shop grand opening with all of the new 2024 Escalades. You get $20,000 in total savings during the grand opening sale. They're paying top dollars for trade-ins too. See how much you can save. It's easy by doing this. Go to the website, LandersCadillacofMemphis.com, and get the Landers Easy Pass. Go check that out, the Landers Easy Pass, and don't miss out on all the exceptional grand opening offers. The best new Cadillac models are going to go fast, so get there fast. And remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much. We're giving out medals, and we got a lot of them, good and bad. Landon Schmidt and I are going to distribute all those out in a minute on Wolo and Friends.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Founded in 1991 by lifelong law enforcement officers, ProTech Security can perform all security services for personal or corporate clients. Uniformed armed guard, plainclothes officers, neighborhood patrols, violence in the workplace, event and party security, dignitary protection, and alarm response. Licensed and insured in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee. They are currently looking for armed security officers, retired law enforcement, and military personnel especially. Premium pay and no limit on hours worked. If interested, give them a call at ProTech Security, 901-274-3700 3400.
To NST, it's never just another case. It's your shot at getting life back on track. Real help, real heart. 35 years and still winning. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or go online at nstlaw.com.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We got medals in a minute. It's brought to you by ATC Fitness. Okay, here you go. It's the holidays that are coming. You start to think, especially New Year's Eve, when you decide you're going to get in shape, part of your new approach. This is the place you can find the perfect workout on your schedule because they got 18 locations and they're open all the time. They're literally open 24 hours a day. There's no commitment or processing fee. They're all over town. By the way, always the newest, latest, and greatest equipment, always incredibly clean, and you got different kind of memberships that you can get. It's just the way to go. You can make sure your health is your top priority. And you do that by going to the gym. And there's no better place to go than ATC Fitness. Exercise your right to look good. All right, we do a thing we call precious metals. I got a lot of them, Landon Schmidt, and I'm going to start sort of selfishly here. A couple of years ago, the Blackhawks, they drafted the very first pick, and they drafted a kid named Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard was an unbelievable junior player. Connor Bedard was pegged as the next Wayne Gretzky. He had kind of a rough year, his rookie year. Not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. He scored a goal in the last 3 games. 3 goals, 3 games. He is now second in the National Hockey League in points. Second. He had 3 points yesterday. He had a goal and 2 assists. The Blackhawks win 5-1. They're now 7-5-3. They're in the playoff picture. They were dreadful the last 3 years. That's how they got Bedard to begin with. He's coming through, though. The Blackhawks and Bedard, they get a bronze medal for me. I give a bronze medal to Seattle linebacker DeMarcus Lawrence. He did something yesterday only 3 other people have ever done. He scooped up a fumble and returned it for a touchdown. Not once. He did it twice. He's only the 4th guy ever to do that. That's pretty incredible stuff. And because of that, his team, Seattle, beat Arizona 44-22. They could use those wins. And that was pretty impressive. I've got to give New England, Indy, and Denver, as I've talked about, they've got the best NFL records. They were, none of them, over 500 a year ago. No one could have seen this coming. We're still middle of the year, a little past middle of the year here, so I'm only giving them a silver. Here's the silver, though. Could have been a gold. We'll see what happens. This shocked me. This is another reason why we love sports. Who could have seen Houston High School only 2 wins this entire year? They're up against their mighty rival, which I don't know what's happened at Germantown at the end, because they were undefeated, like 7-0, right? Something like that. And all of a sudden, the rug got pulled out from under them. They lost to their rival, Houston.
At home.
Houston with all freshmen and sophomores? That's unbelievable. That guy's a good coach. There's no question of that. And those kids developed and grew at the end of the year. What were they? They were like 0-7, weren't they? That's amazing. I give them a silver medal. And then I'm giving SGA and OKC a medal. They played terrible in the first half. I think a lot of that was the Grizz. If they righted the ship, SGA at 35, you realize the defending champions, and I think they're going to repeat. The defending champions have started the year 10-1, and on the road they came from behind. They were down as many as 19 yesterday. Grizzlies couldn't put them away. Poor Ja. Is he ever in a shooting slump? You know what he was yesterday? 3 of 18. And it's like, it's a slump. It's not, it doesn't seem like there's anything mechanically wrong. He's just missing. But wow, SGA didn't miss. 9 in the fourth when he had to have it, 35 in the game. They get a gold medal from me.
Yeah, I'm going to get things started off with a bronze medal going to Jaren Sengapulatele and Jacob De Jesus.
Wait a second, are they Hawaii?
No,
Rainbows?
but this is what Darian thought too. This is actually the Cal quarterback and the Cal wide receiver who did absolutely incredible in their overtime win.
Can I ask you something? Have you got Samoan blood in you?
I really hope so. I need to take some ancestry DNA or something like that, because I really, really hope I do. But Sengapulatele went 323 yards, 2 TDs. Jacob De Jesus went 150 yards receiving with a touchdown. And their overtime upset against Louisville, that was a really good game all the way through. But here is the portion in which I mention my great Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Jackson Harris, transfer out of Stanford, now has 5 straight games with 100-plus yards receiving and multiple TDs in a game. And their win against San Diego State, which was a big win.
I just thought, no, that was huge. First of all, that knocked San Diego State out.
Yes.
Like Memphis is out. Look at JMU in one poll is 24 over USF. They're starting to build this thing for James Madison to make the playoff.
I mean,
that's I should have given a Russ for that, because I don't think there's any way that CUSA is in the same league as the American Athletic Conference. But
certainly
they're building for that. That is kind of crazy. But the fact that Hawaii won 38-6, I believe San Diego State was favored in that game, were they not?
6.5-point favorites.
Look at that. I mean, I thought for sure that was your goal. I am shocked that it is not at the very top.
No, not at the very top. I have only one person at the very, very top. But also it had to do with the fact that I couldn't go very long without mentioning them, so I wanted to get to them as quickly as I possibly could. I'm going to give another gold medal or a bronze medal to Cam Barfield. Only had 69 yards rushing in the game for Hawaii, but he opened the second half with an 86-yard kick return for a touchdown, which just added to the explosiveness of the entire game. And the defense held this really good San Diego State offense to just 6 points and had 2 interceptions by 2 of our star players. So Hawaii now 7-3. We're definitely going bowling, but if we keep winning,
if they keep winning, could they actually get off?
I think we might get off the island.
Mainland?
And if we come over here, I will be at a bowl game this year. We'll see how close it is to Memphis, but it'll be exciting. I'm going to give.
They won't go past the Rocky Mountains.
No,
they're not going east of the Rockies.
No,
baby.
I don't think they will. They've done it before, but I don't think they'll do it again. In my last bronze medal, I'm going to give it to Davis Mills and the Texans in their second half comeback. 26 unanswered points in the fourth quarter alone, with Davis Mills with 292 yards passing and 2 TDs. The Jaguars just fell apart in that game. Texans absolutely came back and left them speechless. A huge win for them. My first silver medal I'm going to give to this Auburn and Vanderbilt game, which was a shootout to the very end. Ashton Daniels for Auburn, 353 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. 89 rushing yards with 2 extra touchdowns on top of that. Jeremiah Cobb adds to their rushing attack with 115 yards, and Auburn had 2 receivers with multiple TDs over 100 yards.
There's something to this interim coach bump.
It's got to be.
It's one game, maybe 2,
yes,
that they go crazy, and that's what happened there. But Diego Pavia.
That's what I was about to get to as well. Diego Pavia, 377 passing yards, where his attack is usually on the ground. He still had a good ground attack with 112 rushing yards and a TD. Trey Richardson had 3 receptions. And on those 3 receptions, he had 124 yards and a touchdown. Eli Stowers not far behind with 122 yards receiving. Absolutely incredible. Give a silver medal to Derrick Henry, who finally surpassed his high school career rushing yards record. It only took him 12 seasons in the NFL, but now he has 12,127 yards rushing.
The most amazing thing you just said there is this guy's still majorly productive and 12 years in the league.
Yes.
Do you know what the average length of a career of a running back in the National Football League
is? It's like 3 to 5 years.
It's 2 and 2/3 years, or 2 and 3/4
It's
years.
very short.
It's not even 3 years, and this dude's been around for 12.
He's not supposed to be
Walter
doing this.
Payton.
Yeah.
I mean, and both those guys run with such physicality. It's amazing.
It really
what they've
is.
done.
It really is. So I'm going to give one more silver medal to Travion Henderson, running back out of Ohio State in New England's big win over Tampa Bay, who had 2 huge breakaway runs that tallied up to 147 yards and 2 TDs. And on that last run, as he's running down the field, he starts to slow up a little bit and looks over to the sideline to check with his coaches to see if he should go ahead and score or if he should go down.
Smart.
And I guess the coaches said, go ahead and do it.
Man.
So he ends up scoring. They win that game. They win it big. And my one and only gold goes to who I believe is the best running back in the NFL. I've been saying it for weeks. It goes to Jonathan Taylor, who had 244 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. This guy is unbelievable.
How many 200-yard games does he have? It's at least 2, right?
I think it's at least 2.
Yeah.
This is definitely the most he's had this year, with 244 yards.
That is a great story. Great medal. All right. I got Russ. I got 3 of them. I'm going to start with Cleveland pitching, and their 2 guys, Emmanuel Clace and Luis Ortiz. This is the danger now that we have proliferation of legalized gambling. These 2 guys, alleged, rigged pitches for gamblers to win prop bets. They would throw balls at certain points in certain counts that would win these gamblers hundreds of thousands of dollars. And those 2 pitchers, they're going to find themselves out of baseball. This is a sad story. I don't know how much they got, but when you're making millions these days and you're getting a percentage of hundreds of thousands, not a good decision. Not very smart at all. I got to give a rust to Aaron Rodgers. 2 interceptions, and he took a safety. And I hate to say it, he looked old last night.
He did.
He didn't look like the Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers. He looked like the Aaron Rodgers who gimped around at the New York Jets.
Yep.
He's looking like maybe past his prime. We'll have to wait and see. He was stand-up. I'm going to give him credit. He said, I played poorly. I was terrible. So I give him credit for that. And I got to give the Tigers defense in the first half a rust. 35-3 against Tulane. 35 points they gave up. They only gave up 3 is the second half number. Only gave up 3 in the second half. They've done that all year long. Jordan Hankins makes great adjustments at the half. And what I think he does is he becomes more aggressive in the second half. He's hesitant for whatever reason to do that in the first half. They have now given up 160 points in the first half. Only 51 in the second. That was the story in this game. 35 in the first, you can't make up. Everybody can talk about Lewis and the last catch and close to DeWozier's sprint down the sideline and all this other stuff. Arrington Maiden being a backup. The offense wasn't the problem. They had over 400 yards and 32 points. The problem was the defense, and the problem was the defense in the first half. And it is a trend. It gets a rust.
It does as well. I have two quick rusts. My first one goes to this guy who had a lot of hype around him going into the college football season. There's a reason why this team was in the AP Top 25, and now they have just drastically fallen off, and that goes to DJ Lagway, who only had 86 yards passing in their loss to Kentucky, 3 interceptions in that game. He's an interception machine, so bad that the backup quarterback had to come in and relieve him, and I believe he had a limited number of passes and almost surpassed DJ Lagway with total pass yards in that game. That looks really, really bad for him and this Florida team. And I'm going to give a rust to Oregon State. I was a firm believer that Sam Houston was going to go winless this year. But Sam Houston got a win over Oregon State and they're now 1-7, which is terrible for Sam Houston because last year they were actually pretty decent. Had a lot of returners this year. They look absolutely dreadful, but because of their special teams unit who scored 2 second-half TDs, they get a 21-17 win over Oregon State. That's an embarrassing loss no matter how you draw it up.
I would say that a Power 4 used to be a Power 4 Pac-12 team.
Yeah.
Losing to Sam Houston State,
that's terrible.
That is dreadful. Speaking of which, by the way, we were not dreadful this week. You were 4-1 in your picks. I was 3-2. The difference in our picks was Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I didn't think they covered
Ran
27,
away with
but
it.
I didn't know they weren't going to play Blake Horvath. The Navy kind of sunk me by not putting in Blake Horvath. So I'm 26-24 in the year now. You're making strides. You are 22-28. Medals brought to you by Southern Security, the best credit union in Memphis the last 6 years. They're working on 7, and middle of next month, they're opening up their new branch in Collierville. I think we're going to be out there, and I can't wait for that. If you need cash, you know where to go. You go to Southern Security. You can refinance your auto loan and have no payment for 60 days. Southern Security will finance up to 115% of the current value of your vehicle, and that's for up to 72 months. So find out how to put more cash in your pocket by calling. You talk to a human being at 901-452-7900, or you can apply on web at southernsecurity.org. Southern Security, a proud supporter of U of M Athletics and 901 Women, federally insured by NCUA, the best credit union around. Southern Security, your home team credit union. Johnny Radio right around the corner. We'll be back tomorrow morning with a whole new set of guests. Looking forward to that. We'll see you then. Have a great day, everyone.